A clear Friday night at Burnsville High School at Bob Pate Stadium. Sam Ekstrom and John Merrow with you on BCTV, simulcast on ETV. It's Metro South football. The Burnsville Blaze hosting the Eagan Wildcats. It's October 30th, the day before Halloween, John, and it's the Burnsville home opener, their third game of the year in this delayed, shortened season, and Burnsville finally gets to play on their home turf tonight.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're excited to play this game not only on the home turf, but they're excited to play Eagan, expect a competitive matchup, and I think Eagan has the same goal in mind.
You see Derek Olson giving Burnsville the pep talk. They're looking for their first win of the year. Let's look at the keys to the game. That could help them get there. And Burnsville's facing a triple option tonight. They'll want to be disciplined against that Eagan offense. Finishing drives, a big key that I spoke with Coach Varpness about earlier today. That was their problem last week in a 26 loss against Farmington, and getting that ground attack going with Mayan Hodges and Colton Gregerson. And the keys to the game for Eagan, a team that has lost 26 consecutive and is 0-3 this season, coached by Nick Johnson. They want to get on the board early. They've been shut out 12 times during this losing streak. Trying to break that shutout early in the game would be beneficial. Get some pressure on the Burnsville quarterbacks, plural. There are two of them if you're just watching Burnsville for the first time, and minimizing mistakes and trying to get that elusive win.
And both these teams have played against other teams that have kind of dominated them on a number of levels, and that can be a little disheartening. Both these teams have fought very hard and been competitive, and they haven't had the results. I think we're looking for a pretty even matchup tonight.
Burnsville defeated Eagan last year for the Blazes' lone win of the season, an 18-8 win against the Wildcats. They've defeated Eagan 4 times in a row, dating back to 2013. Eagan this season with losses against Farmington, Anoka, and Rosemount. And that Farmington matchup is means for comparison. Eagan lost to Farmington by 55, and Burnsville lost to them last week in a better played game, 20-6. Although the conditions on those nights were very different. Eagan played them in perfect conditions. Burnsville played at Farmington in wind and cold last week.
And the Blaze were able to actually sustain at least that first quarter and took a lead in a competitive game throughout.
They were down by 7 at halftime and just couldn't get over the hump in the second half despite some opportunities. There's Matthew Kamarzik, the senior kicker, lets it fly, and we're off and running. In the 4th week of this high school football season, Stephen Boodoo will run it back, and he's swarmed. Karsten Tompkins finished him off at the 18-yard line, and Burnsville goes on defense first against the Eagan offense.
High short kick took a high bounce, which gave the Blaze time to get down there. Boodoo didn't have much room to operate, and the Blaze took him down.
Burnsville defensively looks like this. They've got Sadiq Bouhari back at corner with Henry Sakio, the great sophomore, Nathan Lee and Christian Belt, the safeties. Colton Gregerson, Bradley Bruja, and Adam Chodecki, the linebackers, along with Karsten Tompkins. And it's Chase Vonkum, Hadari Lewis, and Dylan Fisher on the defensive line. Burnsville in a 3-4. And the quarterback on the other side is Alex Lockenmeyer, a junior. They run the triple option, and there's a flag on the first play of the game.
Penalty's been a bugaboo for both these teams, and this is a crazy year, but we're at the point in the season now where you want to try to minimize those.
False start, Wildcats. They're backed up 5 yards. The carry would have gone to Fernando Chavez, the senior. Eagan last week shut out against Rosemount in the Irish's first game of the season. They had 2 games that were canceled for COVID concerns. Eagan has fit all 3 of theirs in, 3 for 3. Burnsville's played 2 out of a possible 3 games. Motion man for Eagan, and the foot to him. It's fumbled inside the 10 and recovered at the 5. And Burnsville forces a negative play.
Whoever makes the least mistakes is going to have the huge advantage here. That's the first one for Eagan.
And that was Nicholas Cron, number 80, the 6-foot junior, who was unable to handle it. Cron will be getting a lot of the work early, and we'll take another look at it. This setting up 2nd and 25, and Cron perhaps preventing a return touchdown. Cron motions, and it's kept by Lockenmeyer. He's got some room to run. Lockenmeyer out across the 15 to the 18. Sadiq Buhari slammed him down. He's back close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and about 11 yards.
Good yardage after initial contact. The deception worked, and at least it gives them a makeable 3rd down.
Burnsville this season defensively allowing 389 yards per game. Those averages a bit inflated after playing number 1 Lakeville South in the opener and giving up over 400 rushing yards. Cron with that stutter step motion and no gain on the play. Lockenmeyer keeps it, or check that, Chavez gains 0, and it's 4th down. The Burnsville Blaze, with aid of a penalty and a fumble, force a 3 and out.
And some solid stay-at-home defense. Now it'll be interesting to watch Eagan's punt formation, a little unconventional. Typically they have 2 backs. It could get snapped to either of them. It's either an option or a pooch kick. Keeps the defense guessing.
And it goes to Chavez, right-footed line drive. Rolling across the 50, Sakio covers it up at the 49. The punt goes for 32 yards with no return, and Burnsville will have a 1st and 10 near midfield. Let's take a look at the Burnsville offensive starters. With a dual quarterback system, it looks like Bailey Weiser will get the opening run at QB. The junior passer with an offensive line of Olsen, Chivangje, Brown, Fisher, and Noriega. Gregerson and Hodges, the backs. Hughes, Schneider, and Homuth, the wide receivers. We'll see presumably Anthony Harrington as well. Weiser asks for the motion man. That's Lee. He hands it off to Hodges, and Hodges has a 1st down on the first play. He stays inbounds. And he's across the 20-yard line, angled out by Alex Stowell, a gain of 33 yards.
Great exhibition of vision, speed, and balance to get down that sideline and walk it all the way down deep into Wildcat territory.
Hodges takes that one in the red zone. He's got over 100 yards rushing on the year, hasn't really gotten in a rhythm yet. And last week he exited the game early after taking a hit to the head, but he looks okay there. Burnsville from the 16. Weiser, the lefty, throws on a slant. Catch made. Touchdown. Sadiq Buhari. Nathan Lee with the touchdown. Number 9, Nathan Lee finds the end zone.
Great execution on a quick slant. Lee gets open, breaks a couple of tackles to reach into the end zone, give the Blaze the early lead.
It's a 50-yard drive, and Kramarzik on for the extra point. Let's look at it again. Breaking tackles on his way to pay dirt. The 2nd catch of the year for Nathan Lee, the senior, and now some confusion for Burnsville with their personnel. They score just 2 minutes, 32 seconds into the game. Marzik up, and it is no good. Burnsville struggled with points after this season. They've had a couple different place kickers, and they lead at 6-0 in the early going. A drive of just 2 plays going 50 yards.
Good defensive stand by the Blaze. Decent kick by the Wildcats, and the Blaze turn around right away. I think we're going to see an awful lot of back and forth here, but a great start for the Blaze.
That is the first touchdown pass of the year for a Burnsville quarterback, and that's good for Bailey Weiser. He had kind of a tough game against Farmington last week. Went 1 for 5 with an interception on a similar throw to that one. He converted that slant to Lee, who is into the end zone. And we will see 2 quarterbacks tonight. Weiser getting his 2nd start, and Sterling Brown Jr. who was the better passing quarterback a week ago, has also started a game.
A watch for the Blaze here. Again, probably another high, short kickoff.
Boudou and Chavez back to receive for Eagan. Tell you what, it just feels quiet without the band and the students in between plays making all that noise. Boudou from the 16, he's across the 25, and he can scoot. He's to the 35 and almost to the 40. Brought out of bounds there, a return of 22 yards.
This time on the kickoff, he caught it on the fly, had time to take a look, made a nice move, and got to the outside. Yeah, Sam, you know, you're right. The one thing about Friday Night Lights for high school football is the atmosphere. And now I think the rule is you get about 120 people per side that can sit, and they're usually family members. And right now I think they're sitting on their hands to keep them warm.
Silgan in the game, Cron motioning, and Lockenmeyer keeping. And he's across midfield. He slips, preventing more yardage, but not before gaining 13 and a first down.
Good deception until the sniper got him.
The first down of the game for the Wildcats. After this play, we'll take a look at the Eagan season so far and try to encapsulate the first half of their 2020 campaign. Chavez on the give, nowhere to go. Tackled by Hidari Lewis, a double-digit tackler this season. And the Eagan season so far, an 0-3 beginning for the Eagan Wildcats. We'll see if we can get that up. They lost to Farmington, giving up 68 in the opener and 52 against Anoka. Shutout against Rosemount, so a tough start in Nick Johnson's second year. But as we'll discuss, John, there is belief in this Eagan program that things will turn around. Here's Lockenmeyer. He's had the most success when he keeps the football, and he gains about 4 down to the 43, so a 3rd and 6 coming up. But Nick Johnson, the coach, in his second year, he's full of energy, full of belief. He's got the numbers in the program up, and he's really optimistic that it won't happen overnight, but there will be progress.
And when you watch them, you know they're playing hard. The matchup are not in their favor at this point, but they're working the plan and hope for the future. And I believe their 9th grade and JV teams have had some success.
There's a pitch to Cron. He is tackled at the 40. Don't know if that was close to a horse collar, but Colton Gregerson, as strong as he is, with one arm, drags him down. 4th down and 3.
Almost like with one hand.
One finger. Gregerson's a strong kid. He was already standing out as a sophomore last year and now one of their best players as a junior. But with Eagan, they, using word of mouth and an increased weight room regimen, trying to build up the confidence in this program, they're going to go for it. On 4th down, Lockenmeyer takes the snap. He will keep. Lockenmeyer has the first down across the 30. The Blaze really have to stay disciplined against that option. That was an emphasis of Vince Vartmas when I spoke to him. He said they got to make sure their assignment sound.
Yeah, they have plugged the middle for the running plays, but they've been susceptible to that option.
And Lockenmeyer, the junior quarterback, picked up most of the yardage on this drive. Chavez and Silgan in the backfield. They've used Cron with that motion many plays, not that time. There's a pass out to the right flat, and Lockenmeyer got popped. Gregerson pressuring along with Adam Chudicke, who had 2 sacks a week ago.
Heavy pressure. He got rid of that before he was ready. There was no chance of that succeeding. Good penetration by Burnsville.
2nd down and 10 on a rare throw by Eagan. You know, this offense that Eagan runs is more similar to the one that Lakeville South ran in week 1 and gave Burnsville so much trouble. The Blaze seemed much more comfortable against that spread that Farmington ran last week. As Lockenmeyer limping off the field, he'll have to leave the game. So that's a subplot to watch. And we'll see who takes his place. Might be Rowan Phillips.
Chavez, maybe?
Chavez.
Yeah. He gets a lot of touches.
So Chavez now under center, and he will pitch it out to the right in Cron. Cron bringing Nathan Lee to the ground with him, surging ahead for a couple of yards, and he is injured on the play. Another key player down for the Wildcats. And you hate to see that. On his feet.
Yeah, he's got a limp there. It's a brisk night, but it's a good football night. It's not too cold. No wind. And we've got this turf, which is not as hard as the older turf. There's a little bit of give there, but
same turf that the New England Patriots have, I've been told. Here's Cron again. We'll see what we can detect. Maybe just an awkward step. And look at Vartness. He is.
What did it happen after the play when he was going to get up and he tripped and bumped into Chidecki? That's a fluke. Let's take a look at this again. Because he looks fine here. He's in the process of getting up and
just caught in Chidecki's cleats. Timeout Eagan.
You know, it looked harmless. Almost looked like one of those soccer tackles where they look like they've been hit with a howitzer and then they're up and back in the play. And let's hope that's the case here.
And a quarterback and one of their top running backs out on consecutive plays. 3rd and 8 with under 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. Burnsville leading 6-0 on a Nathan Lee touchdown reception. Hey folks, did you know you can watch BCTV anywhere on the globe using your Roku device? Just download the Peg.TV app on Roku and select BCTV to watch us live or on demand. You can also stream BCTV online at burnsville.tv/live. BCTV available on TV, online, or on Roku. And we are streaming there tonight. For all of you that are not at the game with the limited capacity, we hope we can bring you a good one tonight in the Metro South between these two rivals. 3rd and 8 with Lockenmeyer back in the game. Still no sign of Cron. Lockenmeyer straight drop, throws, catch made at the 10. Great grab. And a 20-yard gain for Max Robinson.
That was a beautiful pass thrown high to where Robinson was the only one that could get it. He had a couple of people right on him, and he pulled it down. Big play for Wildcats.
First completion for Eagan. Lockenmeyer gets back in the game. More of a traditional passing play, and in coverage, Sakio couldn't get in front of him, and Robinson boxed him out for the catch. Chavez on the give. He leans for a yard. 2nd and goal.
Again, Burnsville's done a nice job plugging the holes up the middle. It's on the misdirection where they've had problems.
It is sort of a formula. You can see that they have 3 options or so on every play: quarterback keep, straight give, or the pitch, or the pass. And there they read the keep well. Lockenmeyer is dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal, a tackle for loss.
Yeah, and that looked like there may have been a pitch to the running back running behind him. He didn't have a chance to make that happen.
Good adjustment by Burnsville to read the keeper. 4:15 to go in the first quarter. 3rd and goal from the 11. Lockenmeyer Pitch left, Silgan cuts toward the end zone. He's inside the 5. 4th and goal situation, and a decision now for Nick Johnson.
Yeah, and I'm not sure kicking is a strong suit for both these teams. You know, if you don't convert on a 4th down, Burnsville's got a long field, and we may see a lot of that. Kicking games haven't been the real strength for both these teams.
4th and goal.
Now we're getting a little bit of action by the fans with the stomping of the feet, making things shaky. That or there's an earthquake happening, but I think it's the former.
Lockenmeyer, a shotgun snap. Wants to throw. Turned around to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. Colby Sorensen hauls it in, and it's tied at 6.
Kind of a broken play. Sorensen just found a seam in the back of the end zone, and nice pass to him, and he had the sure hands. A couple of bodies on him.
And look at this playmaking by Lockenmeyer. Does a pirouette, slams on the brakes, and 2 guys fighting for the ball. Rowan Phillips and Colby Sorensen, and it's Sorensen who hangs on.
They almost could have given the reception to both of them.
A 60-yard drive. 2:55 to go in the first. Eagan to take the lead here. Kick is good. Punched in by Alex Rodman. 7-6 Wildcats. The winless Eagan team leads, trying to snap a 3-year losing streak. Good pressure by Lewis. Better catch by Sorensen.
Right over the fingertips of the Blaze defender. That's threading the needle. So this got the looks of a pretty even contest. Should be very entertaining. This should fire up both squads.
A little back and forth here in the first quarter. Burnsville goes 50 yards. Eagan goes 60 yards. Their drive a little more methodical, and it includes 2 4th down conversions.
And you know, a little bit of confidence goes a long way for both these teams. You look at the last game for Eagan, and the final score, I believe, was 35-zip. But that game was pretty close most of the way through. I think through halftime it was 14-zip, and competitive game. You get a couple good things happen to you, and kind of magnifies your effort and focus. And all that hard work pays off.
Rodman to kick it off under this full moon here in Burnsville. Well struck inside the 10. Anthony Harrington to return. He motors across the 30. Harrington past the 35. Tripped up by Cole Nelson. Good return by Harrington.
Harrington's an exciting player to watch on a kickoff. We've seen him on some runs. He went 79 yards, was it, earlier this year?
Against Lakeville South on the end around. And we'll see this return of 28. Good blocking upfield, too, by the Blaze. You see there, Nathaniel Berhane gets spilled. So Burnsville back on offense. A 2-play touchdown drive to take the early lead. Now down a point. Blaze much more balanced in their run pass this season. Last week on first down plays, they ran it 11 times and passed it 11 times.
We got a little illegal motion.
And that'll make it 1st and 15.
Had a shot of that moon. Tomorrow's a blue moon on Halloween. Doesn't happen all that often. I'm not sure we're going to see the numbers of trick-or-treaters out there with the current conditions, but it's a gorgeous night tonight.
Wonder if we have any costumes in the crowd tonight. You know that if this were student inclusive, there'd be some pretty intense costumes.
The student section would be rocking.
Sterling Brown getting this drive at quarterback. Hodges, I think, bobbled the ball, and he does hang on out to the 31. So Sterling Brown getting this drive was very effective last week until his interception in the second half. Brown was 8 of 13 for 86 yards and a pick. Nearly threw a touchdown, though, to end the first half, which could have tied that game. Hodges, fortunate to hang on.
Yeah, he didn't have possession of the ball when he was beginning to get wrapped up. Good concentration to hold on to it.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 16. Bartness told me that Eagan likes to bring pressure. End around, Homuth, the lanky wide receiver, moves north and south and picks up about 4. First in on the tackle, Derek Dorsey, the junior defensive back. 3rd and long for the Blaze.
Nice cutback to make something out of nothing. Good job of Eagan defense to stay in their zones and prevent the outside run.
The evolution of this Burnsville offense has been fun to watch under Bartness. They, 2 years ago, were very option-oriented, wing T, and then they started expanding that last year, a little more pro style, and this year, not afraid to throw with these 2 quarterbacks that they're still trying to figure out. Brown, the junior from the shotgun, fakes the handoff. Left flat, catch by Harrington, who tiptoes out across the 40. Shy of a first down by 6, maybe 5 yards.
Now this is decision time.
Looks like they're putting punt personnel on the field. Homuth is their punter.
Probably a wise decision for the Blaze. Looks like we're in for a pretty even matchup. Both teams able to move the ball a little bit. Don't give your opponent that good field position. Wildcats have shown they can move the ball.
Homuth, 34-yard punt average. This is a hard liner across the 25, and that'll die inside the 20. Well done by Homuth. That's a 40-yard punt, one of his best of the year.
Good coverage by that team. They were waiting for that ball to bounce. Eagan players smartly backed away to prevent any kind of accidental turnover. We'll see if they can recreate that last nice drive that they had to move down, overcome a little adversity, and make some big plays.
So Eagan with a lead. They haven't had a chance to say that all that much this season. They did take an early edge on Anoka. There's a handoff for 3. September 22nd, 2017, their last win against the Shakopee Sabres. 31-21 victory.
You know, it's interesting, when I had kids in hockey, we were in the off year and our teams were never very good, and we always knew when we play Apple Valley we'd have a chance to beat them. We always circled that one on the calendar, and those was always fun and competitive games. But if you look at last year, 2 best teams in the section were arguably Apple Valley, and Burnsville won the title. So there's an ebb and flow in this, and both these teams are down right now, but looking to improve things. They're working very hard at it.
And you know, Eagan is thrilled to be in a tight game right now through 1 quarter. 7-6 Wildcats on the road. We'll step aside. Second quarter action up next on BCTV and ETV.
Because of you sharing your story with me, I feel comfortable sharing my own.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. Talk with your doctor to create a treatment plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Second quarter starts with 2nd and 6. Eagan from their own 24 leading 7-6. A 4th down touchdown by Colby Sorensen, giving the Wildcats the edge. Alex Lockenmeyer, the quarterback keep. Picks up 3, setting up a 3rd down.
Switched ends of the field, no real advantage. Flags barely moving out there, no wind. Again, beautiful evening for football, for the players at least.
41 degrees at kick, probably cooling another 3 or 4 degrees as the night goes on. They've moved up the start times in this late fall season to 6 o'clock locally instead of 7. Get a little bit of daylight at the start of the game until daylight savings next week. There's a sack. Lockenmeyer goes down, sacked by Colton Gregerson, the tackle machine. On 3rd down, he picks up the sack of Lockenmeyer.
Not only is he big and strong, he's extremely quick. It's a couple of times he's blown things up to get tackles for loss. Sure-handed tackler.
And we'll see the Eagan punt team. Well, here's another wonky formation. You told me they were creative with their punting, and we're seeing that on display.
They have 2 backs, and they both can kick it, and they have options.
Chavez again. Burnsville tried to anticipate it, got the kick away, and it's a good one. To the 45-yard line, that's where it dies. A 32-yard punt for Chavez.
You know, if they lack a big leg for punting, this has been a very effective strategy. You keep Burnsville guessing a little bit, and even if it's a pooch kick like that, you get a good bounce, you don't give them a chance to return it. So they executed that to a T, and you got to keep an eye on them because I believe last game they converted a 4th down early in the game by running an option or taking a pitch. So they keep you guessing.
Burnsville was really aggressive on the punt block last week and blocked one against Farmington. So we'll see if they get assertive in that facet of special teams. They turned the last Eagan punt into a touchdown drive. What will they do here? Weisert is the quarterback. Lee is in motion. And Weisert with the keeper for nothing. He's stood up at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10.
Wildcats stay at home as well and are not fooled by the keeper.
Weisert was the backup last year, the junior, and part-time starter this season. 3 of 11 on the year with 32 yards coming in. He's added a touchdown pass to that in the first quarter of this game. There's the pass left side, man wide open. Harrington careens across the 35. He's still on his feet. Slingshots to the 30. Zane Schneider held him up and threw him forward 5 more yards.
Yeah, that was kept him from going out of bounds, turned him around, gave him a nice little start, and good play, wide open pass, well formulated play, big gain.
We'll see it again. 27 yards on the catch and run. Owen McClune couldn't get him, and finally he was gang tackled at the 28. Brown the snap to Weisert. He'll keep, and he's sacked. Gabe Favre with the sack back at the 36-yard line.
That play didn't develop and was blown up and no place to go. Lucky to hold on to the ball.
Good pursuit by the senior defensive lineman. 2nd and 18. A design rollout there by Weisert, who just couldn't escape the man who had the momentum. He'll throw this time again to the right. It's dropped by Schneider.
Well covered on the play. If he'd have caught it, he'd have been dropped immediately.
Burnsville not afraid to go to the air with Weisert at the helm here. 8:38 to go in the first half.
And we're probably in 4-down territory, but they need a couple of good gainers.
They need to reach the 18. 3rd and 18. Another pass. And again to the right. Gregerson does pick up some yardage. Down to the 31-yard line. So it's 4th and 13. Can't kick a field goal here. Probably have to go for it and take a shot.
Yeah, a punt wouldn't do you any good. You have a better chance of picking up the first down. Maybe pull something out of that playbook to give you a chance at a touchdown.
They've got Hughes isolated on the left. They like that fade to the big 6'7" receiver. We'll see if they go that route. Split backs either side of Weisert on 4th and 13. Looking right again. Incomplete. Intended for Homuth. Too tall for the 6'4" receiver, and a turnover on downs.
Well covered, but with that height, if the pass had been in the right place, it would have been in place. Seemed like didn't quite have time to let that play develop.
So Eagan takes over, holding a 7-6 lead. 8:29 to go in the first half.
A good stop for the Wildcats after giving up a big play to first make that big tackle for loss that Blaze weren't able to overcome.
Pitch by Lockenmeyer to Cron, who's back in the game and plunging to the 34. Dragged down by Bunmi Tepanyavong, and it's 2nd down and 6.
Good chunk of yardage on the first down play. Gives you a couple of options what to call next.
Noah Tepanyavong on the tackle.
Ball at the 34-yard line. So good to see Cron back in there. He and Lockenmeyer both shaken up in the first quarter. In the game now, and it's Lockenmeyer running to the left. That's where he's picked up some yardage in this game. Tackled that time by Dylan Fisher. 3rd down and 4 to go.
2nd down.
Again, Blaze doing a nice job of plugging things up in the middle.
$7:25 and counting to go in the first half. Sam Ekstrom, John Mara at Bob Pate Stadium. The home opener for Burnsville, and their seniors were honored before this one. A trying year for those 12th graders, trying to make the most of it. Lockenmeyer zips a pass to the right, somehow caught. Got through the arms of Gregerson, an unbelievable grab by Robinson.
Robinson on the catch.
Almost an interception. Turns out to be a big play for the Wildcats.
And it might have been Sakio in coverage.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Over there.
He had an open field in front of him. Sure, his eyes got pretty big.
Quick handoff, Chavez, and he's got some room. Lee tackles him at the 41. A first down for the Wildcats. Pickup of 17.
A lot of energy in the sidelines for the Wildcats. They seem to have a few more players at the game this week than they did last week. And now they're playing with some confidence.
First time that inside run has worked all game. The senior Fernando Chavez in Burnsville territory. Lockenmeyer pitches left. Silgan dropped by Adam Chudicke. 2nd and 10.
Adam Chiddicky.
And the Burnsville tackle machine, who's got over 15 on the year, brings him down.
Hard to turn the corner around him. He's got enough speed to push the play to the outside and sure hands to bring the runner down.
Wildcats trying to extend their lead from the 41. Shotgun to Lockenmeyer. Threw it low. Well covered by the Blaze. Intended for Robinson, 3rd and 10.
It's a 3rd down and 10.
Good push by the Blaze line. Quarterback running backwards, throwing is not ideal. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we're not in 4-down territory.
Eagan converting 2 4th downs on their scoring drive to take the lead. Late entry on the field, Gregerson lining up off that left defensive end, replacing Schneider. Meanwhile, shotgun again for Lockenmeyer. Draw play and room for Chavez. He fumbled. I believe Burnsville fell on it. Is it the game's first turnover?
Well, the Blaze had it momentarily. Whether they ended up with it is we will soon see.
Chavez was the only one who had a chance to recover. Burnsville's got the football. Hadari Lewis recovered, and the Blaze come up big on defense.
Big switch there. It was a nice running play. The draw had the Blaze fooled, and the hit jarred the ball loose, bounced the Blaze way.
Burnsville now 3 takes, 5 gives in the take-give category. We'll see it again. Chavez was closing in on the first down and coughed it up. The hit by Tompkins initially.
Almost looked like he was switching from one arm to the other and got hit at just the wrong time.
And in alternating fashion, Brown is again the quarterback. Harrington the motion man. Handoff. Hodges. No room. No gain. 2nd down and 10. In on the tackle, Alex Kemp.
Looked like a little confusion on the snap, whether the receiver was going to go into a motion or not.
Difference in the game right now, a missed extra point by Burnsville after their touchdown to Lee. Both scoring drives coming in the first quarter. One of these teams will walk out of here with its first win of the year. Brown fakes the handoff. It's Favre again, trying for his 2nd sack. Brown escapes to gain 3, and there was a huge block behind the play. I think Hodges laid a guy out.
He did, and you know, it was it was a decleater, as they call it.
So a negative turns into a positive. 3rd and 6. Watch Hodges here. Wow, Nathaniel Burhane.
It seemed to come out of nowhere there, and a little unprepared to be hit like that. Hodges got good leverage.
That's a fun play for a running back to get involved with. 3 wide. Brown with a good arm. He's got 2 running backs on 3rd and 6. To the air, pumps, runs, and down he goes. Favre got him that time. His 2nd sack, 4th down. On a passing play gone awry.
He had a look at 2 receivers, both covered, tried to make a move up the middle and was unable to.
Humuth into punt formation with 4 minutes left in the first half. Two return men for the Wildcats. High spinning kick taken by Sorensen at the 42. Fair catch called for, and good field position for Eagan, getting the football back and not paying too dearly for that giveaway.
A high kick there. Sorensen with those sure hands was a good bet to make the play. And we'll see if Wildcats can regain that momentum they had going and moving the ball offensively.
Well, how about this matchup tonight, John? Lakeville North at Lakeville South. We'll have to keep our eyes on that scoreboard. Timeout by Vartness here.
Yeah, that should be an interesting matchup. Of course, Lakeville North had some interesting scheduling issues. Still able to play a lot of games, but not necessarily the ones that were on the schedule at the beginning of the year. And Lakeville South has looked, dominating.
Unbeatable so far. Putting up 49 against Prior Lake in the win last week. Jim Carlson, the defensive coordinator, and Vince Vartness, the head coach for Burnsville in his 4th season. Just 7 wins since taking over for Tyler Krebs, the former offensive coordinator who actually is stepping away from the coordinator roles this year, wants to focus more on head coaching and in-game strategy. You saw him call for that timeout before that first down play.
Shot of Ryan Columbus, linebackers coach, also works with the weight and strength team and was a heck of a timekeeper at the hockey rink for a couple of years.
There is a COVID coach manning the sideline this year as well, Steve Konechny, who is making sure the protocol is being followed. That's a new addition this year, obviously, with some new rules. Lockenmeyer meets Gregerson in the backfield, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I bet you Gregerson can tell you what he had for lunch. He's been on him so tight today. But, back to the COVID, it's a testament to, the entire high school system, from athletic directors down to coaches and players and everybody being flexible, following the rules. Wouldn't take much to push us over the edge, and here we are watching some Friday night football.
In our 4th week of it, and everyone hopes that it gets through the full 6 and into the playoffs. Sakio with the pass breakup. Looks like Robinson, the intended target.
A bit of contact there, but that was a jump ball. They both have an equal shot at it.
3rd down and 11.
Eagan taking a few chances down. They've completed a few passes, mixing it up. Probably expanding the playbook a little bit with a little bit of confidence.
It's the keep for Lockenmeyer. Broke a tackle and has the first down. Across the Burnsville 45-yard line, Huari finished him off, and they'll move the chains. A run of 15 on 3rd and 11.
One missed tackle early in the run. Blaze had a chance to stop him, and he shed that, and good pickup.
Lockenmeyer needed to escape one man right there. Schneider unable to get him. And Schneider's tackle attempt actually took down a couple of his teammates as well. There's the Cron motion. The pitch. Oh, it's a bad pitch. Look out. Bouncing ball inside the 30. And I think Cron recovered it. A gigantic loss on the play. 25 to the negative. And that's a drive killer for the Wildcats.
Cron did a nice job to retain possession on that. Going back hard on it to try and fall on it with another player on top, you had to fight for it.
Yeah, and that was Chudicke, who was all over Lockenmeyer during the pitch, which I think led to that pitch going astray. Up the middle to Chavez. Gregerson tackling him. The ball came out. Burnsville claiming they've taken it away again. How big would this be?
We got personnel changing. It looks like Burnsville ball.
Another Blaze takeaway. Is Tompkins fired up or what? This defense has been making big plays for 2 straight weeks, and now they want to see the offense turned into points. Tompkins stripped it, and I think he recovered his own forced fumble. .48 at the bottom of that pile. 2 Eagan turnovers, yet they lead 7-6.
Big moment now for the Blaze. This is, if they can do something with this, they'll regain a lot of that momentum. They've been unable to move the ball since early in the game.
Their biggest play in this game, a 34-yard run by Mayan Hodges on the first play. Brown will throw it. Incomplete. Intended for Hughes. Broken up by Derek Dorsey. 2nd and 10.
Blaze, predominantly a running team, not afraid to throw the ball. They've been doing that quite a bit. I think both teams kind of expanded the playbook a little bit with a little bit of confidence.
Brown hasn't gotten into the rhythm tonight like he did against Farmington, which is interesting because the conditions at Farmington were far, far worse than they are here tonight. A lot of wind, freezing temperatures last weekend. Brown back to the air, zips it out for Hodges, incomplete. They were trying to get Hodges on that wheel route, and it's 3rd and 10 with 82 seconds left in the first half.
He had a lot of real estate in front of him. He did have players tracking him down, but the way Hodges can put a move on, I'd had to give him a good shot at a huge gain there.
So Brown, the junior, back into the huddle. They love his athleticism. They love his mechanics. Four wide receivers. Brown. Robes to his left. Pass incomplete. Intended for Lee. 3 incompletions. Burnsville now with a 4th and 10 from the Eagan 36-yard line.
Well, still have one play left to salvage something out of this golden opportunity. Blaze are going to need to pick that big play they've been holding for a while. Now would be a good time to unveil it.
Burnsville stalled at this part of the field last time. They have 2 timeouts, Eagan with 2 as well. Homuth wide right, Harrington in between Lee with Hughes out on the left. Brown rolls, fires, caught by Homuth. And he's very close to the marker. I think he's got it at the 25-yard line. Banged up on the play, Gavin Gugino. And Burnsville completes a big one.
Yeah, that's a big, big play. Especially after that turnover, you want to make something happen. You want to move it down and really salvage that drive. Let's see what they can do with it.
Great awareness, too, by Homuth, knowing where the chains were and where the sideline was. Thought Burnsville might have moved there, and they did. There's a flag. Pass for Hughes is incomplete. I don't know if that play even counted. I think Harrington might have moved in the slot. And this will probably be 5 yards against Burnsville.
All of a sudden, they've become, you know, like the San Diego Chargers of the Dan Fouts day, Air Coryell.
That is an interesting change in philosophy, especially when you look at what Hodges did on the first play of the game.
So you assume either they had a bunch of plays that they were hoping to unveil, or they're seeing something in a potential vulnerability and they're trying to exploit it. They haven't really capitalized on it.
Eagan did give up 281 passing yards against Anoka in that loss. They were gashed on the ground against Farmington. Brown again, 1st and 15, over the middle. Oh, Harrington almost. Odell Beckham Jr. that one. That would have been a highlight reel.
He was open, pass was a little out, and that would have been spectacular. We'll take a look at it.
2nd and 15. Look at this attempt. Has it. Oh, he just couldn't bring it in and get that second hand. And you see the bench's reaction, too. That could have been special. Harrington's a fun player. A senior that can run it, catch it. Had 3 receptions coming into the game. Has another one tonight. 39 seconds on the clock. Burnsville's going to take that into account. Brown, Homuth, 1st down Blaze to the 11. And now some time management. Do you spike it here with 32? They've got 2 timeouts. You've got time, and they do call timeout here. So 1 timeout now. And you're facing 1st and 10 at the 12 they mark it at. That's a gain of 18 yards. Homuth again.
Big play. I'm sure they'll have a couple of plays called up here. So they can hang on to that last timeout if they need it. Had 2 players in that vicinity. They also had Harrington right behind him. I don't know if that was a mix-up, but there weren't enough defensive players there.
McClune eventually brought him down. This is where the Blaze can finish the drive. That's been their kryptonite for a couple of seasons. Getting in the red zone and not being able to come up with that big play. And I talked to Vartness. He pointed to 4 specific plays from the Farmington game where he said if we convert this play, this play, this play, the outcome's probably different. They left points on the field because of mental mistakes and poor execution.
And it just feeds energy to the other team when you're unable to convert on those.
Brown trying to finish this drive off. He wants that single coverage to Hughes.
Oh.
Incomplete, in and out of his hands. Derek Dorsey might have helped break that up. I thought Hughes had it in the corner of the end zone.
Looked like he threaded the needle and dropped it into the basket there. Difficult over-the-shoulder catch and well covered, and we'll try it again. Take a look at this.
Could be a play that Vartness points to from this game that swung the tide, and that's probably got to be a catch. Hughes with unbelievable length. That's why they put him out there singled up all the time, because they want those matchups.
We have the same matchup again.
Do they go back to him? Give him a chance to redeem himself. Oh, they look that way. Instead, they go right, and it's nearly intercepted. They're fortunate that that wasn't picked off on the near side. In coverage, Alex Stoll. 23 seconds now, 3rd and 10.
Homuth playing good defense on that one. Good positioning by the Wildcats there. Blaze lucky to still have the ball. Take a look at this.
Oh, he jumped it, and
he had an open sailing in front of him.
That could have gone for 6 the other way. All right, 3rd and 10. Might be an interesting 4th down decision. They're pretty close for a potential field goal. And a whistle and a flag. Vartness agitated. That'll back him up to the 17.
Your feet get awful sore when you keep shooting them. This is not the time for that.
The Blaze overcame a false start penalty earlier this drive. 21 seconds on the clock. They have a timeout. So 2 plays here to find the end zone, or settle for a field goal. And again, that 5 yards might be the difference between kicking the field goal and not kicking the field goal. We'll see.
We got 3 out to the left now.
And Brown, Favre's after him again. Brown escapes to the 15 and got out of bounds. A minimal gain on the play. He escapes a loss. Puts the ball to the 14-yard line with 13 seconds left. All right, so now a 4th and 12.
Decision time for the Blaze.
And they're sending out Bunnell. Andrew Bunnell, who missed a field goal last week. It was blocked. That one was about a 35-yarder. This one will be 31 yards. The holder is Homuth. From the right hash. Bunnell got it away, and he drilled it. Clutch kick by Andrew Bunnell with 7 seconds left in the first half, and the Blaze take the lead into halftime.
Getting points off that turnover were huge for Burnsville. Great competitive game here. Both teams are going to go back into that locker room knowing that it's a nip and tuck game, and it's going to be execution in the second half.
So Burnsville goes 22 yards after the takeaway. They settle for a field goal, but they do take the lead. Eagan will have a run back and maybe one play.
Blaze had excellent opportunity for a touchdown that didn't convert, and Wildcats had an excellent opportunity for a pick six that didn't convert. Blaze come away with 3 points.
That is a momentum builder for Burnsville going into the locker room. Bunnell's first field goal of the year. And his colleague, Kramarzik, with the kickoff, bounding to the 20. Chavez, stutter steps, 25. Clock will not quite expire. One play for the Wildcats, probably a knee, you would expect.
Yeah, enough time for one play. You could take a shot, but you don't want to make that mistake. I think both teams are probably feeling pretty good about where they are right now.
A 2-point game, and that's just the victory formation to bring the half to an end. Burnsville 9, Eagan 7. Competitive first half, 2 winless teams trying to get the W. We'll stick with you for the dance team at halftime here on BCTV and ETV.
And here to perform for you now, the Burnsville Blaze Dance Team. Captains are Amber Hancock and Kayla Soline. Coaches are Jesse Mosley, Julie Boo, Amanda Taylor, and Annika Redmond. Here they are dancing to One More Time. Please welcome the Burnsville Blazettes. Burnsville Blazettes, everyone.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. Talk with your doctor to create a treatment plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Ooh.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
Because of you being my #1 fan since day one, your advice and support has shaped me to be the businessman that I am today.
By the time you see the symptoms of lung cancer, it could be too late. Now there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early. If you smoked, get scanned.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Julia, are you ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
You're still talking to your friend. It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Hey.
Okay. If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch.
Till September.
I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs, and that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah! Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Hi, everyone. Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that after 75 years, Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Wow. Thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Because of you sharing your story with me, I feel comfortable sharing my own.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. Talk with your doctor to create a treatment plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe.
Ooh. Play Eric Almirola's Race Day Mix.
Because of you being my #1 fan since day one, your advice and support has shaped me to be the businessman that I am today.
By the time you see the symptoms of lung cancer, it could be too late. Now there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early,
If you smoked, get scanned.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper. Beautiful moon overlooking Bob Pate Stadium tonight. Sam Ekstrom, John Mara back with you on BCTV, simulcasting on ETV. Glad both communities are with us this evening in this rivalry game. Burnsville 9, Eagan 7, living up to the billing. Two teams that are looking for their first win and competitively balanced so far in this one, John.
Both teams able to make some offensive plays after slow starts. Some turnovers, some penalties, a little bit of everything. A lot of this script yet to be written.
The offenses, I think, pretty well functioning in the first half, but turnovers for Eagan was the problem, and finishing drives for Burnsville was their problem. I think both groups could justifiably say, oh, we should have had 14 or 17 points.
Right, and the Blaze seem to have thrown the ball more than they have in the past, and we'll see if that changes after thinking about it over halftime or if they dig even deeper into the playbook. You know, sometimes I think that with the quality of the teams that these guys have played, there's some plays they haven't been able to pull out and have enough time to look downfield so they might be a little rusty on some of these plays, but.
Alex Rodman, kicker for Eagan, to send it flying and get us underway in the third quarter. The Burnsville home opener is in the second half. Return by Harrington. Another good one. Harrington to the 40-yard line. And Rodman, the kicker, bumped him out. A return of over 30 yards for Anthony Harrington, his second big one of the night.
Boy, you know, he grabbed that ball and he took a second and took a look and found his lane, and he's got the jets to pile up some yardage there.
37-yard return. They mark him at the 45, and Burnsville with a short field. The Blaze lead thanks to a 31-yard field goal by Andrew Bunnell with 7 seconds left in the first half. Bailey Weisert is their quarterback to start the second half. He and Sterling Brown alternating in this game. Weisert up the middle for 2 yards. It was tackled by Alex Kemp. Boy, defensively for Eagan, how impressive was Gabe Favre, number 8 in that first half. He was a terror in the backfield.
Blaze not able to get a lot up through the middle. We'll see if they'll go back to their passing regimen.
Weisert threw Burnsville's only touchdown. He holds it again. Gallops across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Colby Sorensen tripped him up. Third down for the Blaze and 5 to go.
Yeah, it'd be a big boost for the Blaze to get a couple of first downs, get a nice long offensive possession out there, have some things go their way. Conversely, Eagan's looking for that stop. They want to get back to executing on offense where they had success in the first half.
They load up on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Fumbled shotgun snap, but Weisert trying to make the most of it. Incomplete for Lee. Tough throw back to the middle of the field. Broken up, and it's 4th and 5.
Tight coverage on the defensive side there. Pass looked like it had a chance, but the hand was in there to break it up.
Blaze will play the field position game and appear to punt. And here it is again, Weisert, off-balance toss, actually put it in a pretty good spot in between the two defensive backs. Gavin Gagino was closest to it. Homuth, pretty looking punt. Another good bounce. Homuth has been on point tonight as a wide receiver and a punter. Downed at the 13 by Fisher.
If you can't get a fair catch on that with these low line drives, you get a nice roll out of that, or, you know, funny shaped ball, not always going to bounce that way, but they've had some good bounces so far.
Credit the Burnsville long snapping. A lot of teams are nervous to have that 15-yard snap back to the punter. That's why they do gimmicks like Eagan or the quarterback pooch kick. But Burnsville has a very traditional punt formation, and it's worked out for them. Helps that Homuth has a big leg. Eagan trying to get rolling offensively again. They stalled a couple times in Burnsville territory. They turned it over twice in the first half, and they have a long field in front of them. 2nd and 9.
Long sustained drives are something both teams have found elusive this year. Blaze scored early on a 2-play drive and then off a turnover. Other than that, they haven't been able to sustain multiple first downs and moving up and down the field. Testament to the Eagan defense.
Keep by Lockenmeyer. Sheds one tackle, another, and across the 20. Shy of a first down. It'll set up 3rd and short, and Lockenmeyer once again finding room on that quarterback keep.
Spread in the field there. Got to run 20 yards to gain 6, but good positive yardage.
Alex Lockenmeyer, junior quarterback, missed a couple plays in the first half with injury. He threw a touchdown on 4th down to Sorensen in the first half. 3rd down and short. It's a give. Chavez thrust backward at the 21, short of a first down. Does Eagan dare go for it on 4th and 2?
You'd think they might, but looks like they're sending out the punting squad. You know, maybe this is the time they'll use one of those trick plays. You know, both teams, at this point, you don't want to give the other team tee one up for them because it's a close game. You want to make them earn it. But they have their 2-back formation here.
Chavez is blocked. Ball loose and bounding down to the 11-yard line. Burnsville got there. A huge play for this special teams unit.
They celebrate on the sidelines. That pooch kick comes from a pretty low angle, and if you're in the lane, you got a good chance to block it, and that's exactly what we saw.
You could tell in the first half they tried to anticipate this and almost got home. That was Chudicke who got the block. It was recovered by Stoll, perhaps to prevent a touchdown.
Golden opportunity for Burnsville. This is where the Wildcats need to stiffen up and make a stop.
Burnsville bunches it up this time. Hodges with the rare carry in this game, making something happen down to the 5-yard line. Tackled there by Josh Cifuentes. 2nd down and 4.
Almost caught in the backfield. Did a nice job to elude the defender and get positive yardage out of that. Take a look at this. He sheds that tackle.
Yeah, left Stoll behind. Hodges hasn't been utilized all that much in this game. Trying to pound one in here. He has it again. Hodges to the edge. To the end zone for a Burnsville touchdown.
Capitalizing on that mistake with a nice run to the left. Hodges it was just a foot race, and he had a good lead on everyone. Well executed play by the Blaze.
And they can take a 2-possession lead with an extra point. Let's see it again. Hodges beating Nelson to the pylon for 6. And for Mayan Hodges, touchdown number 1 this season.
And he has worked hard all year, run some tough yards. Good to see him get rewarded with a score.
They will go for 2 after missing an extra point earlier. A pass by Weisert, right corner, knocked away. Good coverage by Stoll, and it remains a 1-possession game. $7:48 to go in the third quarter. Burnsville 15, Eagan 7.
So they're a touchdown and 2-point conversion ahead. Extra point would have put them two scores ahead.
Yeah, the choice there to go for 2 has to be in reaction to that missed extra point earlier. Some struggles with that play this year. Let's see the Stoll breakup once again. It's just an awesome pass breakup intended for Bradley Bruja, who doesn't get many targets. 9 in a row scored by the Blaze. They beat Eagan 18-8 when they played last year in a low-scoring game. This one with a similar feeling. Burnsville special teams gets them a touchdown after the block punt. Their second 2-play touchdown drive of the game. And now Boodoo dropping the kickoff. He's swarmed and tackled back at the 13. And that was Hodges who got around him.
Good high kick, but a returnable kick if it would have been handled cleanly, but it was dropped, and by the time he regained possession, he was lucky to get at least start getting pointed in the right direction.
And Boodoo there, and he's a good returner, but that one, that bobble took away his ability to sort of read the blocking. He lost his window, and now they're stuck back at the 15-yard line. Cron motions, Lockenmeyer keeps, bounces off a block, and might have lost yardage. 2nd and long. Let's take a look at the current Metro South standings and see who's leading the way. It's a surprising team atop there with Lakeville South, both at 3-0. It's Farmington, who beat Burnsville last week. Farmington a chance to go to 4-0 against Eastview tonight, and then they'll play both Lakeville teams. And the 2 Lakeville teams are playing as we speak. We're trying to get a score update on that game. Second and 10. An angle run to Silgan to the 19. That'll set up a 3rd down and about 5. Looks like they'll place him at the 20.
Early crucial play for the Wildcats. It'd be great for them to move the chains here, especially a couple times, get back to that confident running game they had earlier in the game.
Voice in my ear told me that Lakeville South leads Lakeville North 14-7. Good game there. Here's a pass by Lockenmeyer, swallowed up. Sacked by Gregerson, who's having a heck of a night, and it's 4th down.
Kind of a man among boys. If you just kind of look at the screen right now, you can see he's got the size advantage and amongst his teammates, and pretty imposing in black and gold there.
You see number 5 and number 21 adjacent to each other. Those are the 2 real playmakers on that Burnsville defense in back-to-back weeks, coming up big and forcing a punt. Chavez is blocked again. A chance for Burnsville. Touchdown! Hadari Lewis with the recovery and the score.
jubilant group of Blaze come out to meet the special teams who are playing special. And it's gut check time for the Wildcats here. Things have taken a turn quite quickly. Time to take a deep breath. They'll get the ball back and take another swing at it. Looks like the Blaze are going to try to kick a point here. See if they get that machinery working again. And here's the block.
It seems like they're going to Chavez every time, and Burnsville just is anticipating it.
The block and the recovery both done nicely by Lewis.
The senior with the score. And now the traditional extra point. Bunnell, who made the field goal, has the extra point. 22-7.
Nice job by the holder to put that ball down.
And here again, that's just, there's no resistance there with the blocking.
And that punt was not even going up, it was going sideways. You know, when you're that close to the line of scrimmage, it has to happen fast.
Yeah.
You don't have time to take a big swing at it and drop the ball. You got to pooch it.
And we were intrigued to see that punt formation tonight, and after seeing it, they may need to reinvent what they're doing with that play.
They had a couple of successful pooches earlier, where if they can get that ball kicked, it's low and it bounces and the defense gets downfield. But 2 disastrous blocks in a row really kind of have you scratching your head at that playbook.
Kamarzik now for Burnsville, midway through the third, and the Blaze have scored 13 unanswered in the third quarter. They trailed this game late in the first half and now have a 15-point lead, and Boudou with a better return that time out to the 31. Eagan offense needs to respond, down by 2 scores.
Obviously plenty of time, and if they can accept a couple of punches to the gut here and turn around and get back to their game plan, they've got plenty of time to make this up.
17-yard return. Sakio, the sensational sophomore, on the tackle. Middle handoff from a new ball carrier, Zach Jacobson.
Fisher with the tackle.
The offensive lineman he's listed as. 5'10", 205 getting involved.
I think you'll see him on the defensive line too. Good sized lad.
And he's lined up behind Lockenmeyer again. Quarterback keep dragged down. Guess who? Colton Gregerson. Third down.
He's all over the stat sheet tonight.
Had 14 tackles coming into the game. And they love him on defense so much that he doesn't get as much offensive action. But he's a brute of a runner too when they give him the ball on offense.
Promising hockey player as well. Had some impactful performances last year as a sophomore.
Third and 6. Silgan in motion. There's an end around, and it's probably going to work. Cron out to the 40. Good job by Lee to catch up to him and get him down short of the line to gain. Cron is shaken up for the second time in the game. He'll limp his way off. 4th and 1.
Good ankle tackle. He was trying to stretch that ball out to get the first down, but see a flag laying on the field there. Looks like we got a hold against the Wildcats.
So that nullifies a 5-yard gain, turns it into 3rd and who knows how long. We'll see, I think right there, 77. Diego Vieta.
And that's unfortunate because that was away from the play. Well, a little adversity to overcome. 3rd and 20.
Long ways to go.
You know, normally you'd say if you don't get it, you're going to punt, but maybe based on recent experience, you rethink that a little bit.
Chavez doesn't get much. Swung down at the 18-yard line. A loss on 3rd down. Punt team on the field. We'll see if they mix things up a bit. You know, I can't recall Josh Cifuentes getting the snap on any of these punts, number 13. And they've changed it. They've gone now to the deeper.
Yeah.
And that is Cifuentes back. And he gets that away, but not very far. Taking a Burnsville bounce to the 28. It's a 10-yard punt. And the Blaze with another short field.
Yeah, it was the best punt out of the last 3. But still something to work. Now, this is where you really need to make a stand and hold Burnsville to, if nothing else, a field goal attempt. After that competitive first half, they know they can play against this other team. It's just a matter of making the plays.
Weisert in at quarterback. He's got 1 touchdown pass in this game. And he'll line up in the shotgun. Hodges, or check that, Harrington, plowing to the 10. Setting up 1st and goal, Burnsville. A scamper of 18 yards.
Well-designed play with Harrington getting the carry there. He had good downfield blocking in front of him.
Anthony Harrington on the run. 1st down.
He might be the fastest man on the field. That's how he scored his 76-yard touchdown in week 1, going the opposite way. And now he's lined up in the slot inside of Homuth. Weisert angles one left, incomplete. Homuth the intended target. 2nd down and goal.
Was open on the slant. That was a short hop. Play was there, execution a little wanting. They've had success with that slant in this game.
Homuth has been really fun to watch emerge this year. Came in with 6 receptions, has added several more tonight. Probably closing in on 100 yards receiving. Got really good hands, and only a junior. Weisert looks left again. He's got Harrington close to the goal line, just shy to the 2. An 8-yard gain to number 2, and it's 3rd and goal.
2 yards, 2 plays. Probably have an opportunity to try something a little tricky and still have another play for a good old-fashioned bear down and try to punch it in.
Up by 15. Burnsville has some leeway here if they want to go for it. They'll bunch it up around Weisert. Fumbled the snap. He dives on it, tries to lean in, and he might have gained a yard unless his knee hit. Did not get in the end zone. 4th down, and now decision time.
Almost disastrous there. That ball was on the ground. He picks it up and makes some lemonade out of those lemons. They're looks like they're clearly going to go for it here.
Marked at the line of scrimmage. There's the ball. And looks like he
tried to roll forward.
We'll see if they go to the ground or go to the air. They're in the shotgun. Hodges by his side. Weisert. Homuth. Incomplete. And the Wildcats come up big with a humongous stop at the doorstep.
1st down.
Great stop for the Wildcats. They really needed that. And even though they've got 98 yards in front of them, the score remains the same, and gain a little confidence on a stop right like that. Dangerous territory to operate in offensively, though.
The way Gregerson's been penetrating, you got to worry about a safety. Some of the yardage has dried up for Eagan here. Lockenmeyer, the give, and the safety. Zach Jacobson did not, they're saying he did make it out to the 1.
Forward progress.
Wow. All right. So they lose a yard, but not 2 points.
Even the conservative plays are risky. Take a look at this push by the Blaze line. I don't
know about that.
Yeah,
unless
he's reaching his arm forward with the ball, which is risky in its own regard. Blaze feeling confident on defense.
I mean, they've got that ball at the, is that the 2-yard line? I do not understand that. Clock winds out in the 3rd quarter. We'll see it again. Now, here's a question for you, John, and I don't know if I know the answer or you would know the answer. Does the point of the ball, does the entire ball have to be out of the end zone, or is it just the point of the ball that has to be out of the end zone?
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I know going the other way, it's just the point.
Right.
I would assume it's the farthest point towards the direction you're going.
Through 3, Burnsville by 15. Let's take a look at our upcoming coverage on BCTV. Just 2 games left in the regular season. At Rosemount next Friday, and then the following Wednesday against the defending champions, against Wyzetta. And Burnsville Community Television will cover both of them. Eagan with Eastview next Friday, and then the number 1 Cougars in the finale. Now, there's been some discussion about adding another game on a Monday. A lot of teams have done that, and Eastview and Lakeville North will actually be playing this coming Monday. Rosemount played Woodbury last Monday. That's just a 2-day turnaround, but they're trying to get as many games in as possible, especially if they've missed a game due to COVID.
Yeah, and the Blaze did miss 1 game, so they are a game short. Eagan has played 3. Blaze have played 2 to this point. You know, it's a miracle if they, and these turnaround, these are situations you'd normally try to avoid with as much as you could, but in this case, I think everyone's just happy to play. So you switch quarters. This is about as far as you can go at the end of a quarter to start the next quarter.
To pass, Lockenmeyer has his man for a first down. Colby Sorensen, what a play call to move the chains.
You know, that quarter ending could have been, kind of broke the concentration a little bit. Good opportunity to try a play like that, and it worked to a T.
The man who scored their touchdown with a huge catch. I think Burnsville probably feels a little robbed at losing out on that safety, but that's a massive conversion for Eagan. Still only down by 2 possessions here. And they'll run it for yardage. And another first down. That's Jacobson and some extracurriculars after the play. Jacobson galloped for 12 and now late flags. We'll see what the call is.
Determined running by Jacobson. This could be a devastating penalty if it goes against the Wildcats after a big play like that. And just watch him break these tackles. I thought he was down there and he emerges.
That was Marshawn Lynch-like. Oh, and there's the... Well, there was some retaliation too. Maybe it's offsetting. Maybe it's on the retaliators. Maybe it's on the initiators.
They're giving it a good conversation there. You know, maybe put both teams on notice. They're not going to put up with this. And you'd kind of hate to see the Wildcats, after a good positive play like that, be penalized.
It felt like they were reacting to the retaliation by Burnsville. Maybe it'll be offsetting. Thought I might have done some lip reading there. Yep.
So the play stands, and it's the penalties are after the play.
That's a first down, and I think they got the number wrong. It was 56. It was the Jacobson who had the carry, a little push in the face, then the jab, some words exchanged, Gregerson in the middle of it.
Yeah, and it looks like the Blaze, that last push was really what killed him.
Yep. Again, up the gut. And Jacobson, getting the lion's share of the carries all of a sudden, picks up 2. 11 minutes left.
Yeah, and, after making a goal line stop, if you can walk 99 yards down and punch one in to get within a score, then you got the game right back where you want it.
It's been a while since Eagan put together a couple first downs on any drive, so this is already a success relative to what they've done in the second half. Lockenmeyer looking for the edge. Schneider in pursuit. Smack down. Sadiq Buhari flies in and nails him inside the 30. Loss of a yard. Third down.
At some point you got to turn upstream or someone's going to get ahead of steam and hit you, and that's exactly what happened there. Blaze strung the play out to the left. Can't go here, and here comes the heat.
That's the discipline that Vartness wanted to see this week. You see the gap filled by Lee, and then the next one filled by Schneider, forced him out wide, and Buhari made the play.
Looking for a seam, and there just wasn't one there.
3rd and 9, shotgun for Lockenmeyer. To the air, pumps and throws for Robinson. Incomplete, Sakio in on the coverage. 4th down. Their big target unable to haul that in. Step for step was the sophomore with him. 4th and 9.
And Sakio was facing the passer for about the last 10 yards of that play. It was a jump ball.
They're going to bring the punt team on the field, it looks like. What will we see here? They're going back now to the split punters, trying to get some of the rushers probably out of the way, so they don't have so many to block.
You got 3 blockers up front.
It is a fake, and it doesn't go well. Incomplete from Chavez, and Burnsville takes over. They had to try something like that.
Yep. And the flaw in that is you got everybody spread out. You got three offensive linemen there. The Blaze just got past that, and there was no time for that play to develop.
The Blaze have just gotten more and more push as the game has gone on. That was Gregerson once again. They've got to put a body on that guy.
Or 2.
He might require a double team.
And he kind of hung back there until the play broke down, and then he shot the gap there, blew that play up.
From the 28. Blaze fell short at the 2-yard line last time they had the ball. Harrington wants a block, got a block. 360s down to the 15 and drags tacklers to the 13. You could see him directing traffic there, asking for the block out in front, and he picks up 15 yards.
And it worked well, too. He's got some vision, he's got some patience, and, with the speed, he's just waiting for that hole. And you watch here where he lets that play develop right here.
Sakio the block.
And that he got another 5, 6, 7 yards out of that.
And then the late push, too, from Christian Chivangje, the other sophomore. Weisert getting most of the looks at quarterback in the second half. Is a handoff. Sakio prances in for the touchdown. And Burnsville's pouring it on.
Just what the Blaze were looking for, a couple of good positive plays on offense. And that could be the final blow in turning this game from a close contest into one where we might see some depth coming in. And just look at that hole open up.
Vonkum with the downfield block. Sakio with his 3rd carry of the season. He's averaging 9 yards per carry on those 3. Fumbled snap. Bunnell can throw it. It's caught. And it will not convert.
Cue the Benny Hill music.
But Bunnell with a completed pass. And that'll look good on the stat sheet. Hughes, the one who hauled it in. And now the score just looks correct, 28-7. It looks like he had 4 touchdowns and everything was A-okay.
Yeah, I mean, they could have had a safety in there, and they could have had a couple of 2-pointers, and just after that, just a tough snap there to catch.
And that's Alexis Bunnell.
That's right.
Who was looking to hold it.
For her brother?
I can't confirm, but I can infer that would be the case. 8:51 to go in the game. It's fun to see now 3 games in, you start to pick up on trends and you identify who kind of stands out. To watch the growth that we've seen from Homuth, from Sakio, Chidecki, Gregerson. There's some real talent on both sides of the ball here. Harrington has been great. Yep. Burnsville's got a lot to be excited about, and a decent amount of those names are still in their junior year or sophomore year. Punt or kick out of bounds, I should say. And that'll give Eagan some better field position.
Disappointing turn of events for the Wildcats, who had this game essentially tied at halftime. It's kind of slipped away. Still an opportunity. We've seen them move the ball.
Eagan ball on the 35-yard line.
Lockenmeyer's still in there. And looks like Jacobson, still his single back. Silgan goes in motion. Lockenmeyer holds onto it, dives to the 38-yard line. You know, there has been a consistent trend with Vince Varpness's teams. They typically have shown market improvement as the years have gone on, and this is the kind of team that he would love to have a full season with, a full 8 games.
Not only that, maybe a regular practice and preseason schedule when you have to mold these kids into shape. Some of the teams they're playing have so much depth that they've got kids ready to step in that have already been pretty well accustomed to playing. Here the Blaze are kind of in early season teach mode, and it's paying off tonight.
Jacobson gained 2 more. 3rd and 5. Rosemount won't be easy next Friday, nor will Wyzetta, who won the title last year.
Wyzetta's been beaten a few times this year. I think they're 0-3, are they?
Yeah, Wyzetta losing a lot from that championship team. There's Lockenmeyer twisting, turning, just short of a first down.
Well, I was looking at Wyzetta's record. I think opening week they lost by a point to Prior Lake. They lost to Eden Prairie last week, which is typically not a bad loss. So, there's tough competition out there. You could be an 0-3 and still be a pretty good team.
Burnsville looking to avoid the 0-3 tonight. And they've progressively played better and better their first 3 weeks of the season. 4th down, keeper, Lockenmeyer, I don't think got it. Eagan trying to say he did. Needed the 45-yard line.
And it looks like about a yard short.
Burnsville with another defensive takeaway. There's so much energy that's noticeable from this Burnsville sideline. Playing with a lot of passion tonight and leading by 21.
Yeah, and it's senior night, so there's usually a little bit extra motivation, or at least excitement in the stands. And, the Blaze have one home game left, unless they can schedule another one here. So these are precious moments for the seniors.
Yeah, it'd be tough to, as Coach Vartness was saying, he wanted to get that extra game in this coming Monday, but some things fell through. Be tough to sneak it in next Monday because they have a Wednesday game. There's a direct snap to Brown. Tripped up is Harrington. Loss of 2 on the play.
Nice tackle, good penetration into the backfield.
So Brown now getting this drive for the Blaze. And Eagan looking ahead for them. Eastview is a winless team through their first 2. And they have to play 2 games, essentially in 3 days, before playing again next Friday against Eagan. So they're going to be exhausted. And they've not won a game yet. That could be another one for Eagan to try to get that W. To the 42-yard line is Harrington.
Well, I've watched a few of the excellent ETV broadcasts of earlier games. The one common thing you see is these kids compete the entire game. And we saw a rare unsportsmanlike penalty. Usually they've played hard and they've played clean, and hats off to that.
Brown, 3rd and 8. The give to Hodges. Hesitates. And he's close to a first down. Ran over Cole Nelson at the end of it. Where will he be marked?
Looks like it might be short, but
at the 36-yard line, 4th and 2. Well, the articles you read about Eagan are all very encouraging. The players all say there's great energy. Everyone's grinding at practice, and the numbers are up. 130 kids came out for football this year. That's tremendous in a COVID season. Brown on 4th and 2 here. Gives to Hodges. They get him in the backfield. He leans, he fumbles, and it's Eagan football. The first Burnsville turnover with 5:11 to go in the game, and they would have turned it over either way.
Yeah, depending where they spot that ball, they might have
gained a couple yards, actually.
They'll give them forward progress, I think. And again, I think their 9th grade and junior varsity teams have had some success. And, I think we talked about this earlier, Eagan with the Vikings complex there and, all the energy around that. Usually community kind of rallies around those types of things. And, maybe some Vikings will move in there, and they'll have their own David Dixons in their organization. Former Viking who's one of the coaches on the Blaze sideline.
Eagan got to play at TCO Performance Center. There's a big tackle for loss by Chudicke. They got to play at TCO Performance Center against Farmington in the inaugural season of games there. Injured member of the Blaze here. Burnsville's largely gotten out of this game unscathed, but Bradley Bruja down on the field. Here it is again. There's Bruja in on that tackle, or no, check that. It's away from the play. So next week, we mentioned Eagan is hosting Eastview, Burnsville's at Rosemount, Lakeville South is at Farmington.
Certified trainer Doug Nelson out there, who works an awful lot of the Blaze sports.
It didn't look too vicious, seeing Ruha go down there.
It's a cramp, maybe.
It could be. Right leg.
Yeah, look at that muscle kind of tensed up.
2nd and 13 awaiting us. Well, Coach Barton just told me today that they were battling against the kids' focus this week. It's human nature sometimes to look at an opponent and see, oh, they've lost 26 consecutive. We can show up and we can win. And I think the first half was a good cautionary tale against that. That no, this opponent's going to compete against you. And a much better second half for Burnsville tonight. They seemed much more focused. Lockenmeyer, strong arm, intercepted. Nathan Lee in space. And he'll zigzag down to the 25.
One turnover to the other. Lee on senior night makes a big play and regains possession for the Blaze.
Third turnover for Eagan, not counting turnovers on down or block punts. 2 fumbles and now an interception. Lee, the safety, read it the whole way.
Kind of the desperation pass, try to make something even though it's high risk. And
4:32 remaining. Brown back in.
We'll see a lot of running of the ball, would be my guess.
Good guess.
Get that clock running.
Hodges, first down. Walks the tightrope down to the 7-yard line.
He's been able to do that with some proficiency.
Hodges very efficient tonight. Hasn't had a ton of carries, but he's made the most of them.
Nice stiff arm.
Hodges, a 5-yard touchdown run in the third quarter. That gave Burnsville the 8-point lead, which they then increased to 15 and then to 21. Buari next to Brown. Buari out to the right side, looking for the angle. He gets there for a touchdown. Sadiq Buari into the end zone for the first time this year.
And it was a foot race, and he showed the speed he's got. He was able to get around that corner, pursued by 3 different Wildcats.
Burnsville, in their win against Eagan last year, had 3 rushing touchdowns, and they do tonight by 3 different rushers. Sakio, Buari, and Hodges. And this from Bunnell to make it 35. He drilled it, 35-7.
Nice downfield block on that by Hughes to open the final door.
29 straight points for Burnsville. Here are the last 4 scoring drives for the Blaze. 22 yards, 11 yards, recovered in the end zone, so 0 yards, 28 and 25. Short fields for the Blaze.
Turnovers really making a difference here. It's really been 2 different games, an evenly matched, close struggle up until 7.7 seconds left in the first half, and since then it's been the Blaze writing the script.
Marzik will send it off with 3:49 to go. Fridley beats Mount Westonka 34-3. Got some scores coming in. Farmington 42, Roseville 7. Return to the 29-yard line.
You know, it's a hard-fought game. One of the things I always like watching high school football is teams aren't afraid to pick up the opposing player and give them a hand when they're down. Sportsmanship's usually pretty good. I know they get heated at times, but usually what we're seeing are good, hard, clean competition and respect for the other team.
Wildcats football. Jacobson powers for about 4 to the 34. And we see some substitutions on the Burnsville defense.
Yeah, good opportunity to get some playing time for some of these kids. The Blaze have been in some battles where they've been under the gun, and it's good to get some kids in some positive playing experience.
Deshaun Wolf Stokely, number 28, playing corner. David Ajayi playing the other corner, the junior. They bring in Valentine Vogel and Tyler Block as well. Aaron Mendoza in there. Third down and 3 for the Wildcats.
And the clock is going to run, and I don't think that's a bad thing for either team at this point.
Assuming Bruja's okay, Burnsville will get out of this game injury-free, and Lockenmeyer will pick up a first down with his legs. Shadiki on the tackle, first down Wildcats. Well, next Friday looks like another beautiful night for football. We'll be outside at Rosemount. Looking forward to bringing you that game. Rosemount went 2-0 last week with wins against Eagan and then Woodbury on Monday.
Woodbury's had kind of a resurgence between them and Eastridge, beginning to get some proficiency in football on the east side of the cities.
Eastridge with the shocker against Lakeville North, not only beating them but shutting them out 13-0. That was the same week that Lakeville North was supposed to play Burnsville. They had 1 day to prep, and Lakeville North did not score. And then Woodbury, they've got the quarterback gimmick. They've got the right-handed quarterback and the left-handed quarterback, very much like Burnsville has, and they have them both on the field at the same time, and they can do different things with them. I tried to get Vince Vartness to admit that they're going to try that at some point. He didn't really commit to it. I couldn't get him on record. Third and short coming up here for the Wildcats.
And of course, Eastridge and Woodbury, it's a growing area, expanding suburb. That's one of those places where they're good now, but wait 5 years. You know, with demographics they'll have and an emerging community. That's what we've been seeing, like in the Lakevilles and the Rosemounts. They build a program, they keep getting better and better.
Third and short. Jacobson should have the first down. Burnsville trying to rip the ball out as we go under 40 seconds. They wouldn't have to run another play. We'll see if they opt to. Burnsville going to move to 1-2. Eagan falling to 0-4 with 2 games left.
I don't see a sense of urgency there. It looks like the
and the streak for Eagan will extend to 27. Burnsville with the win. And we'll get to the game highlights and a lot of good ones for the Blaze, especially in the second half. And they've got the Gatorade bath for Vince Vartness. His 8th win as the Burnsville head coach. They've got the social distanced goodbye. Clean looking score, Blaze 35, Eagan 7. And they outscore them 26-0 in the second half.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't really think they came out with that much better of a game plan in the second half. I think they just started to execute, and mistakes were made that they were able to capitalize, and they kept it going.
Started off well for Burnsville with that Weisert pass to Lee for the touchdown, a 6-0 Burnsville lead, but then Eagan responded on this improvisation by Lockenmeyer, the catch by Sorensen to make it 7-6. Eagan had the lead. They held the lead until late in the first half. Andrew Bonnell, a big momentum turner, 31-yard field goal to make it 9-7 at the break. Burnsville took advantage of Eagan mistakes in the second half. Couple block punts, some short fields, including this first one by Chudicke, and then the recovery there by Eagan at their own 11. The Blaze needed just 2 plays to punch it in with Mayan Hodges. Trying to pound one in here. Getting out to the left side for the score. Hodges' first touchdown of the year. Missed extra point, or missed 2-point conversion. It was 15-7, but then Hadari Lewis does it all. The block, the recovery, the touchdown. And on special teams, the Blaze took a 22-7 lead. Sakio added 6 right there. The missed extra point, 28-7. And then for good measure, an interception late by Nathan Lee, the third Burnsville takeaway in the game. And they converted that into 7 more with Sadiq Buhari finding pay dirt on an 8-yard run of his own, the third different rusher to find the end zone for the Blaze in the game. And they win it going away by 28 points against Eagan Wildcats, their 5th straight win against Eagan. And probably a happier post-game huddle, a little smile there for the fourth-year coach.
Yeah, well-earned victory for the Blaze. I know you've got a lot of face coverings there, but you know a lot of those guys have a grin from ear to ear. Long time coming to get this victory, a lot of hard work, and it pays off. Conversely, Eagan, they fought hard, had a great first half, looked pretty good. Things just kind of didn't go their way in the second half, and it kind of snowballed. Lessons to be taught there, but it's back to the drawing board and get ready for the next game.
For our fantastic merged crew of BCTV and ETV, we thank all of them for their work. For John Mara, I'm Sam Ekstrom. We appreciate you watching in Eagan and Burnsville tonight, where the Blaze come away with the win. Have a great weekend, everybody, and stay safe.